finals, as well as nearly half a dozen super fights here with some of the best gi athletes in the world. Joe, what are you looking forward to tonight?
It's going to be an incredible night. It's always an incredible night with BJJ Stars, the biggest super fight show in Brazil. I'm mostly looking forward to this no-gi Grand Prix. I think these no-gi Grand Prix all year have been producing some incredible action. We've seen guys like Mika's run comes to mind, right, in the incredible run that he had earlier this year to 185 pounds. Now we're bringing it down to 70 kilos, 155 pounds. Some of the best around Brazil, some of the best from South America are going to do battle. I'm really, really excited. There's going to be some awesome, awesome gi super fights. Corey, man, we got guys like Meyram in this bracket. We got guys like Gabriel Souza in this bracket. Who's standing out in this bracket to you?
I think we have to kick this off with Meyram, the two-time BJJ world champion. We don't see much of him in no-gi. He's really kind of well known for his explosive and energetic gi style. But in the couple times he's competed in no-gi along his career, he's excelled. He has a submission win over Fabricio Andre. So I'm excited to see what his judo and his movement style look like in a really decorated no-gi bracket.
I'm super excited to see how Gabriel Souza looks tonight. I think Gabriel Souza, ADCC medalist, an ADCC finalist, has looked incredible in the past. I think he had a little bit of a rough stretch there through 2024. I think in 2025 he's looked a lot better. He started to put together some really solid wins, beat guys like Josh Cisneros. He had an awesome performance at Polaris just a few weeks ago. I think it might have been last weekend, actually. So he's been very, very active, very successful. He had some awesome, awesome performances and submissions there at the Polaris event. So I'm really, really excited to see how Gabriel Souza does in this. I think he's going to be the guy to lead this pack and be the favorite heading in as we get ready for this big bracket.
One athlete we've got our eyes on is Cleber Pereira, the 17-year-old fighting out of Melqui Galvão, but with a already kind of decorated hit list. He had two phenomenal runs at the South American trials back in 2024 on the road up to ADCC, and has proven that he can be somebody that takes out top names in this bracket.
100%. I know that we're going to get started here really soon. I'm really excited for that. But Cleber, obviously a killer down from Manaus, one of those really tough kids that's coming out and really making his name and making his path forward as we see the fighters from tonight all making their path forward. A lot of elite talent from around the region, from around the country, all making their way out. There's a lot of pride on the line here at BJJ Stars, along with everything else, the prize money, the championship belts. So I'm really excited to see how a guy like Cleber is able to answer the moment, right? There's a little bit of pressure. There's a little bit of importance. How does that factor into his performance?
Of course, BJJ Stars tonight also going to include several super fights. One that I'm really looking forward to is Felipe Andrew, the multiple-time world champion, taking on the, I guess he's no longer a rookie, but the young black belt in Leo Ferreira.
O BJJ Stars 17 vai pegar fogo. Vamos fazer barulho para esses guerreiros. José Vitor, Maycon Gabriel, Giovana Oliveira, Jéssica Caroline, Cleber Barbosa, Ruan Alvarenga, Jonatha Prazer, Gabriel Souza, Lucas Cantor, Meyram Maquiné, Cleber Pereira, Júlio Arantes, Nolan Stewart, Diego Sodré, Harrison Gabriel, Leonardo Ferreira, Felipe Andrew, Caio Gregório e Peter Frank. Atletas, cumprimentem-se e podem regressar à área de aquecimento.
You see everybody starting to embrace, getting ready for their fights tonight. A lot of mutual respect here among the best.
Muito obrigado, guerreiros! Nesse BJ, olha, esse BJJ Stars vai pegar fogo.
For everybody joining us tonight on our YouTube live stream, we are going to be streaming the first 5 matches before sending everything to the site. So if you are watching right now live on our YouTube stream, make sure you head over to our site for everything that's going on a little bit later here tonight. It's going to be some incredible matches that include some of the quarterfinal matches that people are going to see. But if you want to see the finals, the semifinals, some of the best action that's going to happen tonight, you need to make sure you head on over to FloGrappling.com and watch everything right there, the exclusive streaming home of BJJ Stars.
Com os maiores nomes do jiu-jitsu mundial. Tudo transmitido ao vivo e a cores pela maior plataforma de jiu-jitsu e grappling do mundo. Agora, pessoal, antes de iniciarmos a grande noite, eu gostaria de agradecer os nossos patrocinadores: Spaten, Future, Fighter's Choice, Iron Belts e Keiko Sports. Gostaria de agradecer também os nossos apoiadores, Jimenez Eventos, Dojo Lonas, Instituto Inster e Anjos do WOD. Agora, vamos botar fogo no parquinho! Para abrir esse evento, colocando fogo no parquinho logo de cara, nós vamos chamar aqui 2 atletas que deram show no BJJ Stars Confere. BJJ Stars Confere é o nosso programa que passa no YouTube, série de luta sensacional. Esses 2 atletas deram show. Então, vamos lá chamar a primeira luta da noite com o oferecimento BJJ Stars Confere. Representando a equipe Soldiers, José Vitor.
Jose Victor making his walk to the stage, representing Soldiers, the purple belt here. Relatively new purple belt. He had a successful run at blue belt where he won a world title and has been a breakout star at purple belt already.
Jose has definitely established himself as one of the best young color belts, I would say, especially out of his program. These are both guys who I believe came up through the Conferi system that BJJ Stars puts on their free YouTube fight series. People can go take a look at that right now. Both these guys have really earned their way.
Maycon Gabriel!
And his opponent, Maycon Gabriel, making the walk to the stage. Maycon also a really decorated competitor as a blue belt, including
The Black Panther, look at this.
Yeah, look at that. What a walkout here for Maycon Gabriel, who is a double gold winner at the 2025 Brasileiro at blue belt, as well as the champion at the European.
The European Championships as well, yeah, 100%. You can see why they call this guy the Black Panther, right? He has really embraced that moniker, embraced that as a personality, as a gimmick. This guy has been undefeated as a color belt as far as I could tell. And he's coming out to put on a show. This to me says that this guy is really, really confident that he's about to come out here and do something awesome. I've seen this guy fight in person. It's big judo. It's big, crazy takedowns. It's kind of almost like a Muhammad Ali type of style. You know what I mean? Just getting some of those crazy big exchanges. I'm really excited to see what this guy's going to do, especially after that awesome walkout. Let's see what gets going. Maycon, he was kind of the guy to watch at blue belt, especially because double gold here. He gets his purple belt right before Worlds. He wasn't able to do the World Championships, so they just promoted him right ahead of time. So he really didn't get a chance to go up against some of those best blue belts in the world like Jose did, and I think that tonight is going to be a really, really big opportunity for him.
Hoping to see a standing exchange here as we get started, but Maycon takes a shot right off the bat here, chasing it down.
Big amplitude. Oh, but Jose Victor gives it right back. He wrestles into the position, and now he's working his passing. Maycon may have come out a little too hot there, and it's Jose taking advantage early here for those 2 points.
Jose picks up the 2 there and gets his head inside, looking to pass the guard right away. Seeing some good guard work here from Maycon.
I love having to see this. I love having to see Maycon. I really haven't seen him pushed. I really haven't seen him have to come back in a lot of these matches, so seeing this early on, I like that we're going to have to see it from a mental standpoint. What's he dealing with?
Jose's got the crazy dog grips here right now. He's got Maycon drawn out already, putting some pressure down and looking to camp this position out just a bit. With the deadlift pass, he may settle in for points here.
This is incredibly impressive from Jose Victor. I knew that he was tough. I didn't know that he was going to come out here and in the first minute be putting together this kind of performance. He is up 5-0 as the underdog, coming out here and making a statement early. He still has a lot of work to do. There's still a ton of time left on the clock. But this is very, very impressive work from Jose Victor early on.
Jose's got that high collar grip already. He's looking to transition north-south. Wonder what he's looking to set up here. Step over triple
Canto, yeah.
Maycon doing a good job of escaping here. Looks like he's going to return to his guard, but once again on that cross pant grip.
I think he needs to get up. I think he needs to make his way up and just reset this fight from the feet. This is where he is the best, when he's able to chain his takedowns into attacks on the ground. Good ankle pick opportunity there for him. And you notice, man, it was a little bit of speed off that, right? He got cooked a little bit under there, and now a little bit of the explosion is going to be less so than it was. This is really good news for Jose as he continues to move forward in this fight, but that little ankle pick is just a little slower, a little more labored than it otherwise was right at the beginning of the match. We saw him so energetic, so ready to go. It makes me wonder, Corey, maybe there was an adrenaline dump here.
It seems like there was at least a little bit of exhaustion here as Maycon has locked horns here with Jose Victor. Certainly not the space he might want to be. Seems like he's looking to be a little more upright, finding opportunities to use throws to shoot on those legs.
Yeah.
Jose doing a great job standing in front, keeping his forehead to forehead here, and perhaps forcing Maycon to think about pulling guard.
Man, 5 points is a lot to make up. That's a lot to make up. That basically says to me that Maycon is either going to have to secure the submission or he's going to have to find his way to the back, right? One of those two things is going to have to happen if he wants to win this match. Neither of those things are impossible, but you see the referee already getting on him about potential stall. Something to point out here early, these are IBJJF rules, but they're slightly modified. One way in which they are modified is that there's one fewer stalling penalty. There's no free stalling call. There's no free penalty call where it doesn't show up on the scoreboard. It's going to show up a little bit quicker here in terms of disqualifications, further points. You see advantages come out on the board right now. That's a little early if you're used to IBJJF work, but that's going to be a change for every gi match here tonight.
Maycon back to the collar and sleeve here, but we're still head to head. Not a lot going to happen here in this position. We're going to need a little bit of a change of angle from either of these athletes to get something going to the mat.
I think Maycon, that, early on, that was not what he expected. He came out with a lot of fire. He's trying to catch his breath and catch his energy and get his arms really feeling that pop again. Even there you see is just a little bit of a step back. It's going to take a little bit more engagement to bring that engagement back to him. And there you see a second stall call. I love that we're getting the early calls, right? And these guys are not going to be given the opportunity to not put on a show. You're here, you're at a big professional event, you're going to be forced to put on a show. Both these guys have their back up against it. Let's see what they come out with now. And here's Maycon answering the bell with a big double leg immediately.
It's important to note here that we are on the final penalty. So with 3 minutes left in this match, another penalty is a double disqualification. Both of these athletes need to make something happen, and we're seeing some seemingly desperate shots from Maycon, but Jose makes a counter attempt here, snatches up a single. Let's see if he can score with it. Big club to the head.
It looks like they did not give Maycon a second penalty. So right now it is just Jose. Oh no, there it comes. So now it's Jose back on top and really imposing himself. That's a big impactful takedown. Not just for the technique, not just for the score, but for the momentum and for the mentality of this match. Is that going to be the nail in the coffin? And if he gets this pass, that is going to be a nail in the coffin. Now we're talking about, can he finish by submission? Jose Victor's putting on a show here with this kind of performance, lighting up the scoreboard every which way.
Jose Victor with another 3 points here is running away with this one, 14-2. Of course, those 2 points came by way of penalty. Looking to set up that Bravo grip, which is really, you talked about, Joe, the nail in the coffin here. That grip is going to be very difficult for Maycon to get anything going in this position.
You can see Meyram up there in the background, not at this angle, but he's over there in the background, going to compete here pretty soon himself, but he's shouting instructions to his boys, trying to get them going, trying to get the feeling high. You see he's walking that arm up, and now over into the mount. This is big trouble. If that left foot comes out for Jose Victor, then I think he's going to be able to secure the submission considering the rest of the position. That left foot is super important right now for the defense of Maycon.
Nothing going on that Americana attempt, but a strong statement there by Jose Victor to remind Maycon that Jose is dangerous from this position. Walking the arm over the head now too. And he'll settle into mount for an additional 4 points.
7.
Oh, that's right, 7 points for the pass as well.
He's going to beat 20. He's still got room to work. He's looking key locks, which usually means you don't want to risk too much, right? He still feels maybe a little bit of that pop and explosion from underneath, but you see Maycon throwing his legs up. That's usually a sign that you don't have a lot of other answers at the moment.
And with the arms pinned over the head, there's not a whole lot Maycon can do here from the bottom, with the exception of some maybe desperation moves. And Jose trying to finish the job here with the arm bar. Is going belly down on it.
Maycon spins. We got 30 seconds left. Jose Victor is up by a truckload of points. This is basically submission-only territory for Maycon Gabriel. Let's see if he can make something happen, or if Jose is going to be able to manage the last 30 seconds of this match, which he's largely dominated.
If you're Maycon here, this is an opportunity to make a statement and just
Get your pride back.
35 seconds you've got left on the mat.
Get a little pride back. Give us. You might not have won the match. Maybe you can get the best highlight. You know what I mean? Maybe you can get a sweet throw.
Now, there are still 30 seconds on the clock. We are not out of double disqualification
That's a really good point.
territory.
I hadn't thought about that. That would kind of be, worst case scenario for Jose. That would be a chutzpah call from the referee. You see him kind of looking over to the side, making sure. But that would definitely be an intense call as Maycon decides better off just to pull the close guard. And discretion will be the better part of valor today. It is Jose Victor who is going to walk away with an incredible 21-2 victory here tonight. The takedowns, the passing, incredible work.
Phenomenal outing from the Soldiers representative here. 21-2 is not the type of margin we normally see on the BJJ Stars stage. Just looked head and shoulders better than his opponent throughout the 7 minutes.
100%. Maycon came out with every intention of putting on a show, but it ended up being Jose's night. He ended up being the guy, even though he was the underdog who was able to come out and put together a really dominant performance. This is going to be big for him moving forward. There's a big statement made as we move into purple belt next year, where these guys are going to see each other in those same brackets probably plenty of times. Man, he is fired up to get that win. Starting off BJJ Stars 17 the right way.
Jose
Jose Victor takes the win here at BJJ Stars 17. We're going to take a look at some of the several highlights from his performance in just a moment here.
Man, it felt like Maycon fell into a hole early and just tried to dig himself out here and there, but just wasn't able to. This is a good example of one wrong exchange very early in a match can sometimes be the end in jiu-jitsu, because of the way things can snowball and the way momentum can get away from you. Couple of the toughest heavyweights that we have here at the Purple Belt Division. Here now we're seeing finally some replays. This is that early passing exchange. This to me is where he really broke the match open and changed the dynamic of everything. Corey, talk to me about what you're seeing here.
Yeah, this deadlift off of the Crazy Dog grip is a really good way to just break through those defenses. And then when we got to standing, this is where we thought Maycon might have the best advantage, but it was Jose that scored not one but 2 takedowns, which really earned him phenomenal control of the match. When it came into these passing sequences, he was pretty dominant, but winning in these positions where we thought Maycon might have the biggest advantage is really what put Jose in control throughout the entire match.
Soldiers has one of the toughest teams in the world. It's not one of the biggest teams in the world, certainly, but we consider their high-end talent and the level of training that these guys are receiving every day as color belts, going with black belts like the Muniz brothers, like Meyram. It's a really incredible room. You can see it paying off here with some incredible takedown skills, some incredible top work. And he kept chasing the submission. I love to see that from Jose. I thought this was just an incredible statement all the way around. And he gets the well-deserved hand raise in one of the more dominant performances I've seen in a gi match in BJJ Stars, to be perfectly honest. Putting up 19 points on anybody, 21 when you consider the penalty, is ostentatious. Man, Corey, that was an awesome match. To everybody that's joining us on YouTube, we really appreciate that. That was just one match. We're going to have 5 free matches here on YouTube. After that, you got to head over to FloGrappling.com. Make sure you check everything out. There's going to be a lot of awesome IBJJF style action, ADCC style action. Corey, super awesome first fight.
Yeah, coming up next, too, we have a decorated black belt in Jessica Carolini up against Giovana Oliveira, the reigning brown belt world champion.
Super tough. We have an interview. Let's check it out.
E a luta já começou com 21-2, é um placar muito dilatado. 280 soldados fracassaram e você prosperou. Do 181º, José Vitor bateu o Pantera Negra. Era jiu-jitsu que precisava, você com muito poucas palavras, muito discreto, low profile, falou, amanhã eu vou trazer jiu-jitsu. E você trouxe e entregou jiu-jitsu.
Foi jiu-jitsu. Peço desculpa pro Eric, ele pediu para eu chamar, mas é jiu-jitsu, a gente fez tudo aí. 21-0, é isso aí.
Bom, se o Caleb não prosperar, não triunfar e não for o campeão do torneio, e aí ele ganharia 100 mil reais, você é o faixa roxa que vai sair daqui, com, além da sua bolsa, que eu não sei quanto é, você vai ganhar mais 20 mil reais. 10 mil do nosso Aoki, não é o Chine Aoki do Google Plata, é o Ronaldo Aoki que botou 10 mil e o Meyram bancou e duplicou. Então você vai sair daqui com a sua bolsa e mais 20 mil reais. Está satisfeito sendo o faixa roxa mais bem pago do mundo neste sábado, se o Caleb não triunfar.
É isso aí, tá valendo mais que o World Pro aqui. E é isso aí, trabalho feito. E agora voltar para casa. Aí, muito obrigado o Maycon aí por ter vendido a luta. Ele é um atleta muito duro e vendeu a luta aí pra galera. Foi uma das mais esperadas. E é isso aí, muito feliz de mostrar meu jiu-jitsu pra galera. E em breve espero estar de volta aqui no tatame.
Parabéns, campeão. Show de jiu-jitsu, 21-2, é um placar para lá dilatado. Roman, volto com você.
Okay, coming up next, we have Jessica Carolini taking on the new black belt in Giovana Oliveira. We will be right back at BJJ Stars.
Bom, e agora que o parquinho já está incendiado, vamos tacar gasolina, né? Tá na hora. Vamos chamar a segunda luta da noite, um oferecimento Iron Belts, representando a equipe Almeida Jiu-Jitsu, Giovana Oliveira!
Giovana Oliveira, the newly crowned black belt, fighting out of Almeida Jiu-Jitsu in a room where there are tons of really tough young female black belts, and also a great coach in Bianca Basilio.
Yeah, she really impressed me this year. She had an incredible 2025 season. She was able to win the World Championships, the Pan Championships, the Brasileiros. She had an awesome 2025. I'm really excited to see her get a chance to step up and elevate herself, take a shot against the upper level of this division. And when you talk about the upper level of this division, you're talking about girls like Jessica Caroline, who has always been a killer. She has wins over some of the best to ever do it. She's won major championships at this belt. I think this is going to be an awesome test for Giovana.
Para enfrentá-la, vamos chamar aqui, representando a equipe Pax Jiu-Jitsu Academy, Jessica Carolini!
Jessica Carolini, the 2023 Pan champion and European champion. She also won Euros in 2024. Jessica Carolini has been one of the toughest roosterweights on the scene in the last couple of years, has wins over Maisa Bastos and several others, but has been really tricky in her guard and her kind of aggressive passing style. She's, of course, willing to play that roosterweight backtake game that we're so familiar with from the lighterweight women. Excited to see what she can do tonight.
100%. Jessica Carolini has always been a big dog in this division, so I'm really excited to see what she can bring to the table here. Seems like we might have been having some issues with the video as they try to get that going, but just so everybody knows, this is two of the best going on. I thought that all year Giovana was one of the top 10 women in the world at this weight class. She just happened to be a brown belt while she was doing it. Jessica Caroline is now getting her chance to put on a show here in the BJJ Stars arena. Let's see what we got going.
Close guard collar sleeve here from Jessica Carolini, who's already having to deal with the strong posture of Giovana Oliveira, who breaks it open, gets her elbows inside. Looked for a moment at the beginning of the match to try and find a double underpass. Let's see if she goes back to that strategy.
I think it's a little bit of a mistake for Giovana to let Jessica get off one of those guard pulls that cleanly. You know what I mean? I think that, you know, you got to try to play the double pull game, as annoying as it can be, or you got to try to catch that coming in. Letting someone with as unpassable a guard as Jessica Caroline come in and get a free guard pull, where now you're going to have to work against that potentially for 7 minutes. It's a difficult proposition.
Jessica looking for that omoplata on her left side early. Let's see if she comes back to that as she's trying to find the space now behind Giovana's elbow.
Notice that left-handed underhook grip, but the right hand of Giovana is still caught up in a little bit of that lasso. You see it starting to weave underneath, though. Definitely double unders is the way that she's looking to go. She's decided to go through the guard or around the guard. Not really the way for her. Let's try to go under the guard. There's the stack. Anytime you can get the toes to touch the mat, that's a sign that the stack pass is doing some really good work. So this is really encouraging if you're Giovana.
Into this leg drag variant. The sleeve right now is saving Jessica, that sleeve grip. But Giovana in a strong position here to complete the pass if she can get her sleeve free.
100%. Look at the way she's using her right shin against the shin of her opponent to keep her pinned in that position. You see Jessica getting her head away so she's not having to carry as much of that weight in the stack as she tries to retain her guard. But what that does is it creates a little bit of back exposure where Giovana can cut that angle fast enough. This is going to make the position real interesting. So let's see what happens here. There's a lot of options here from this deep stack position.
One thing we know about these top flight rooster weights is just how flexible and dynamic they are. So these positions that look like they might be quite uncomfortable. Somebody like Jessica Carolini has spent hours and hours fighting from this position.
100%. She's a pro at defending this position. Everything is about that sleeve right now of Giovana, and she's doing a great job. She's got a great grip on the pants, and she's looking to just slowly kind of spider walk that further and further away. This is a great start to the match for her. And can you imagine the statement made if she's able to pass a guard as legendarily unpassable as Jessica Carolini, who I don't remember if I've ever seen her get her guard passing competition.
That's a better hand position there for Giovana, who's looking to drag that leg. Jessica doing a great job of making her right leg heavy, keeping those toes flat on the mat, and able to save her guard that way, at least momentarily.
Man, look at the pressure that she is putting on that shin, and Jessica keeping her legs straight. That is so much flexibility, dexterity, strength and position, whatever you want to call it. It's just a lot of toughness as well.
So much of this position too is about patience and not being the one to make the first choice here, right?
You try hard, you die hard sometimes.
Yeah, if Giovana goes to finish the pass, she's giving everything up. If she goes for the back, she gives everything up. But she's going to try and force Jessica to make that decision for her.
100%. There's also the attritive nature of pressure that builds up like water over time will erode. This is all really good pressure that she's investing, and that's just going to make everything as the match wears on easier and easier. First from a physical standpoint, because you're breathing harder, your muscles are working harder than your opponent. None of that's great. But then also from a mental, look at this. Look at this. Armbar. Into the armbar. She's deep on this. There's the tap. That was incredible.
Giovana Oliveira.
We said it was a dynamic position. We weren't lying. Giovana Oliveira just stunned Jessica Carolini with that position, with that performance. From top, scoring the armbar in her rookie black belt year. That is a crazy result for her.
And, you know, looking at that position, we were thinking pass, we were thinking back take. I don't know about you, Joe. I was not thinking armbar there.
That was not really on my menu either. That was awesome from the young competitor. That was from Team Almeida. Team Almeida is so stacked with these young female prospects. You see them in the crowd getting hyped, getting nuts. That's one of the best parts of BJJ Stars is everybody has their people right there on the top of the mats. What a performance.
Para o anúncio oficial, Giovana Oliveira!
That's a sign of things to come, I think, for the upcoming IBJJF season. We have a new breakout star in a division full of breakout stars in the female roosterweight division.
Man, her and a Funegra sister are going to have to do battle at some point, right? Her and a Funegra sister are going to have to do battle at some point, right? I'm definitely really excited to see that. That was an awesome performance. And like you said, just think of how much confidence and momentum that's going to give her as she starts getting ready for Euros, Brazil Euros, Pans, and eventually Worlds. every athlete here tonight receiving the BJJ Stars trophy. Every athlete here tonight is a BJJ Star, of course. And Giovana Oliveira just scored our first submission of the evening. Man, that was something. I really want to see a replay. Here we go. Saw a lot of good stacking work here early. Corey, talk to me about what you're seeing.
Yeah, the patience in this position is really the key to this. I think if Giovana has settled to try something here any earlier, she would have lost everything, but just remained patient, kept fighting for that hand. And in a moment here, we'll see the way she cut the angle to the armbar. But just the pressure and the patience in the stack is really what brought the whole thing down.
Man, she didn't give Jessica a look in, and then you see she starts to tip her over. She steps over and captures the elbow. From there, she's able to extend, and she is looking at the referee already. She knows she has that locked in, ready to go. That is the biggest win of her career by far. It comes tonight on BJJ Stars 17. The future is so bright for Giovana Oliveira. Incredible finish. That's one of the craziest armbars I've seen in a minute.
That entire match really came down to the hand fight, right?
Yep.
Jessica was saving herself by fighting with her right hand and keeping Giovana's arm trapped. But live by the arm, die by the arm.
There you go. And we also talked about how both of these women did not want to be the first one to have to move out of that position, right? And it felt like ultimately Jessica, with the clock moving against her and so much pressure and the position being so deep, that ultimately she did have to bail from that position. In the bailing, she leaves the arm out, and there's the finish.
Huge momentum for Giovana Oliveira in her, I don't know if this is her debut per se, but it's for sure her biggest match so far at black belt.
100%, no question about it. Let's hear from her.
Uau! A gente saiu de 21-2 para uma luta 0 ponto. 0 ponto, mas já concorrendo à finalização da noite. Braço esticado. Ela já tinha batido, mas você, com muita nobreza e muita grandiosidade, esperou para que ela batesse de novo e a arbitragem visualizasse.
Foi isso aí, pessoal. Quero agradecer primeiramente a Deus, quero agradecer ao FEPA pela oportunidade, a todos os meus familiares e amigos e pessoal da Almeida. Obrigada aí pela presença aí. E é isso, né?
Eu vou arrancar aqui a tua estratégia. 2 guardeiras, você não é uma guardeira do triângulo, mostrou a versatilidade, canela na panturrilha o tempo inteiro e dali você deu o bote no braço. Era essa a estratégia? Não pensou em nenhum momento em puxar primeiro?
Sempre foi a estratégia desde o início. Acredito que ela achou que eu ia fazer guarda, né? Ela até deu uma nota lá de 5 para minha passagem, que eu não era tão boa. Realmente, não passei, mas peguei. Falei que ia pegar.
Legal. Bom, você agora conquista o direito a desafiar quem você quiser. E eu sei que existem negócios pendentes entre uma determinada pessoa e a equipe do Caio Almeida. E já pisaram no dojo branco daqui o próprio Caião, Léo Lara, a Bia. E eu sei que você tem uma desafiante muito ousada, não vai desperdiçar a oportunidade de fazer o seu desafio.
Na verdade...
Mas contextualiza.
Na verdade, tem 2 pessoas que eu tenho muita vontade de lutar, né? A primeira pessoa é a Ana, foi minha primeira luta como faixa preta com ela. Então, eu queria ter uma nova oportunidade de lutar com ela e mostrar mais o meu jiu-jitsu. E a outra pessoa é a Carol Brunácio. Ela acabou ganhando da minha parceira de treino na semifinal do Mundial. E eu quero vingança, hein?
Ela quer vingança, sensacional. Bom, naturalmente a Aninha e a Júlia precisam de uma revanche, o mundo inteiro agora está esperando, você vai ter que aguardar na fila, mas já fez um plano B. Roman, chave de braço, primeira concorrente à finalização da noite.
Giovana Oliveira has her eyes set, asking for a rematch with A-Rod, among others. We will be right back with the start of our Grand Prix.
Não se esqueça, com grandes poderes vem grandes responsabilidades.
Seja seu próprio super-herói. Tenha uma faixa Iron Belt.
Here is our bracket for BJJ Stars 17's 50-kilogram Grand Prix. Just a reminder for everybody watching on YouTube and live to social that we are going to be showing the semifinals and the finals exclusively on FloGrappling. We have 3 more matches that we're going to show live to social before everything moves over to the site. So keep that in mind. Make sure you get over to FloGrappling.com to watch everything else that's going to happen tonight. Corey, what match on here first round is really sticking out to you?
Cleber Barbosa versus Gabriel Souza, which I think we might get first here. Cleber, really agile young competitor.
Yes, super quick.
Começando o nosso GP agora, primeira quartas de final, representando a equipe Dream Art, Cleber Barbosa.
Just like you said, Corey, here is Cleber. I think Cleber is one of these really unknown, hungry young guys. Just a couple years at black belt, he's had some really good results. He's a little small, moving up into this weight class. I think he's going to have to answer some questions about his strength in this match against, especially a guy who's as yoked up as Gabriel Souza is. But he's super tough. He's super dangerous. He has wins over guys like Jalen Financier, who just won a black belt world championship this year. He is definitely worthy of being in this bracket, and I'm really excited to see what he gets to do with this opportunity here tonight.
Cleber training out here in San Antonio, and we've got quite a few opportunities to watch him compete. He's competing every weekend at local shows, and always it's just a thrill to watch.
Gabriel Souza.
The same can be said about Gabriel Souza, who is, remember, the 2022 ADCC silver medalist and an absolute firecracker. Gabriel Souza has some of the best wrestling in the business among the 70-kilogram guys.
Incredible wrestling, great top game, even a really good guard. This is the guy who's able to get it done everywhere. He's won a bunch of tournaments in the past. For my money, he's the favorite coming in just because of his nogi experience and all the big wins that he's had there, but by no means is it going to be easy as we get everything started here for our Grand Prix. A reminder for everyone, these are ADCC style rules with some light modifications. We'll get into those if we need to, but for the most part, ADCC style rules. Gabriel Souza, the only officially world-ranked opponent in this bracket tonight. I believe he comes in as number 7 at 155 pounds, which is what the weight class is here tonight. Big jumping guard pull from Gabriel Souza. We talked about his wrestling, but he gets down with the guard pull early on. I think that's very interesting for him to pull a close guard. I'm not used to him doing that.
We're already
yeah, they're already getting on him. In the first 30 seconds, we're seeing both these guys kind of trying to, or the referee's starting to get on Cleber for the inactivity, wanting him to open up from this close guard and move around. I think Gabriel really wants to come out here and sprint and try to find something early on as he starts throwing up this leg lock. Cleber backstepping, looking to get out, but Gabriel wrestles up on it, nothing doing.
And this is what Gabriel will do sometimes. He'll pull guard and use the threat of the leg locks and the back takes to wrestle up, and here he's super strong.
Deep drag attempt, and he is going to score this as a back take and end up at least looking on the back. Cleber giving a gator roll, trying to get out.
Now remember, we are in a modified ADCC rule set. That means the first half of the match there are no points scored.
I think one of the modifications tonight is I think they are giving points in the first half, and that is to try to encourage guys to get out there a little bit earlier and try to get after it. Usually under ADCC style rules that would not be the case. Here tonight we are allowing it.
I stand corrected, and there are the 2 points for Gabriel Souza for scoring that takedown, which could have been a back take.
Could have been a back take. Now it's Cleber's turn to work from his guard as you see the pressure coming on from top position by Gabriel Souza, leaning the hip in, putting the head over head, backstepping, and now trying to wrestle into this front headlock, cradle. Beautiful chain wrestling here from Gabriel Souza. He works from the front headlock to the legs, puts him right back down. He's all over this guy right now.
And his
really
fluidity, his fluidity between guard work and back take attempts and wrestle ups and down into a leg lock. Gabriel just seems to be a little bit faster to pull the trigger, and there are no seams in his movement.
Leg lock attempt now. Another 2 points for Gabriel Souza on that takedown when they came back up and he put him back down. They're considering that another takedown, or I guess they're not. Now
He's got an angle on his V-lock here.
He doesn't not have a Z-lock, but I don't know if he's going to be able to get the Z-lock. But he does have a good bite here on this outside heel hook. But Cleber rolls, and Cleber's able to escape.
Gabriel's doing a great job. Sprawl to the back, pull guard, go to the back.
Man, he's keeping
wrestle,
such a
go
high
to the
pace.
back.
I feel like he wanted to come out here and potentially even get like an earlier submission. You know what I mean? Try to get off the mat a little bit early, considering that he's going to have multiple matches tonight. He's going to have Meyram potentially second round is what the bracket looks like. So I wouldn't be surprised if he wanted to come out here and really see if he could put this away early, but it doesn't look like that. Cleber's too tough for that.
Among the men in this 8-man Grand Prix, Gabriel Souza is the veteran and the senior at 28 years old. Most of these competitors in their early 20s or even in their teens, as we'll see later tonight. But Gabriel definitely showing his veterancy in this bracket so far in this matchup.
Man, don't tell me that. Don't tell me he's the oldest guy in this bracket at 28. Don't make me feel old like that.
He's got that inside camping position there for a second, that hip sprawl on the inside. Now, one thing about Cleber is he's always sharp. He's got those really like sniper-like attacks from his guard.
Kind of a no-arm triangle? Yeah, nothing doing. Man, I feel like the way jiu-jitsu is evolving these days, some of these moves that I used to consider junk, like a no-arm triangle, I kind of have to start respecting a little bit more because these guys have just been working in the gym trying to specialize these things, and they figure out a way to make them work. I got to respect everything these days.
You hear about it referred every once in a while, too, as jiu-jitsu technology, which always makes me laugh, but it's true. There are little tiny fixes that can make those seemingly ridiculous submissions very credible.
Ooh, a little bit of good technology there from Gabriel Souza as he gets to that side position. Manages to pass all the way to side control. That was great leg pummeling from him and good opportunistic passing as he adds 3 more to his total.
That's a mean crossface he's got there on that left shoulder. Climbing the arm up.
North-south. He's shown a good north-south before.
Using it to take the back. He'll truck roll. He'll come back up. Cleber scrambling out. But Gabriel still getting the better of that exchange.
Here you see that smashing top pressure. One of the reasons that Gabriel is so comfortable pulling guard is he understands that as long as he can get on top in any way, he's going to be able to blow most matches wide open. And he's shown that under multiple different rule sets. In the gi, out of the gi, IBJJF, BJJ Stars, ADCC, ADXC. He has had success basically everywhere he's gone.
We're looking at the early signs of perhaps an arm triangle here, but Gabriel instead decides to take the back. I can't see where his right foot is, but it looks like there may be 4 more points coming on.
Right foot's inside. This is scoring criteria. I think he just got out of scoring criteria, but I think he was in it for long enough that they're going to give it, but he goes right back in. And now it's just going to be a matter of, is he able to lock up this submission? Those strong, strong anaconda arms from Gabriel Souza, if they lock around the neck, it is going to be an issue.
And we've seen him fight in this position before. He's a bully when he gets to the back. He'll smother
He's so
the
mean.
face. He'll punch across the jaw. He's not nice in this position.
Which is weird because he's a pretty nice guy most of the time. Like anytime I've dealt with him, he seems pretty okay. Yeah, but he's definitely a guy who, he throws on the wrist lock from the opportunity, from the angle you didn't see coming. There's the arm starting to get under, right?
Just patient, just a veteran. You know, he's got the arm under the throat, but not rushing it, still kind of playing calm and calculated. 30 seconds left in this match. Gabriel seems pretty confident he'll get the finish here. Cleber hanging onto the hand for life, but all Gabriel Souza so far in this matchup.
So something I want to point out here, maybe this will come up later tonight, but just keep a lookout in pro matches. A lot of guys, once they get that body triangle, are no longer using a control arm, like a seatbelt grip where one arm is under the shoulder. They go with both arms over the shoulder, so they're both choke threats at the same time. I think that's very interesting.
Gabriel putting on a final squeeze with 8 seconds left, and the hand comes up, and the tap goes down. Gabriel Souza wins by submission, 4 seconds left on the clock, and will advance in this 70-kilo Grand Prix. Veteran dominant performance here from Gabriel Souza.
That man looks ready to win a bracket here tonight. He looked awesome from all positions, the guard, the wrestling, the top work, eventually finishing with a submission. That was a vintage performance from Gabriel Souza here to open up our Grand Prix at BJJ Stars 17.
Anúncio oficial, Gabriel Souza!
Gabriel Souza takes the victory via rear naked choke in the waning seconds of the match here. Looked phenomenal through his kind of just fluidity through positions, working through the back, working to mount, showing off his takedowns and his sweeping ability. We'll see how that sustains through the rest of this bracket. We'll be right back with more from the 70-kilogram Grand Prix at BJJ Stars 17.
Let's take a look at some of these replays, actually. Here you see one of these early wrestling exchanges from Gabriel Souza, using his ADCC veterancy to stay on top and continue wrestling, even as they start getting a little bit to the edge. There's no safety there. And here you see him just, once he got to a good position, that momentum only started kicking up and up and up. The wheel only turns in one direction. And from there, you see another takedown getting added. It was an awesome, awesome display of what Gabriel Souza is able to do out there on the mats. You thought there was going to be a Z-lock for a second. This is the closest they got to a submission before he got to the back, and an awesome, awesome outside heel hook attempt as he was working low, working high. Just looking to really kind of show off here, and there's that pass that I think really opened everything up and really started the beginning of the end in a lot of ways.
Yeah, we just really got to see a lot of Gabriel Souza. We got to see his guard, we got to see his passing, we got to see those leg locks and wrestling. Really impressed with the way he mixed it up and just kind of outpaced Cleber throughout the whole match.
He will move on. He will face the winner of Meyram and Jonatha for Zhao. I believe that match is coming up next. If he meets Meyram in the semifinals, that's going to be an awesome, awesome one.
We'll be back.
E sem nenhuma perda de tempo, já vamos para a segunda luta das quartas de final do GB, valendo R$100 mil. Oferecimento Jimenez Eventos, representando a equipe Andinos Grappling, Lucas Canto.
The Argentinian black belt, Lucas Canto, making his walk to the mat. Canto's been kind of making a name for himself on the AIGA stage and has been really kind of excelling for silver at the Brasileiro Nogi, and also he took a bronze medal at the European Nogi this year.
Definitely. This is a super tough guy, but I feel like guys behind the scenes, guys who are working in media, have seen this guy toiling, seen this guy putting in work, getting some good results, but never quite breaking through. Tonight's a huge opportunity in his career. I think the biggest opportunity he's had yet, to be perfectly honest. And he has no easy task as he takes on ADCC veteran, Ruan Alvarenga.
Ruan Alvarenga has quite a hype to his name, and he's been really a standout black belt, but hasn't had a very active black belt in the last 5 years. Hasn't competed a ton, but has always excelled on the competition stage when he does.
100%. He's been kind of making his name, not making his name, but keeping himself busy in the ADXC scene, keeping busy as a super fight champion over there. Tonight, he's getting a lot of matches at once. I'm really happy about that. He's a guy who's trained extensively with guys like Marcelo Garcia. He has competed at the highest levels of the sport, including a performance at the ADCC World Championships before. Now he takes on the Argentinian black belt in the first round of the BJJ Stars Grand Prix.
Canto sits right to guard here, and we get things going.
Canto definitely a dynamic leg locker. You see Ruan really getting low early, trying to smash on top of this leg entanglement. This is one of the strategies that people will use. Good limp leg there. Man, good inversion. This is a deep bite by Lucas Canto as he gets all the way into this outside ashi. Now he's doing a little bit of work to try to pull it back in. Nothing doing. Good entanglement early, though, from Canto here in this Grand Prix. Even though points are active the whole time, these guys are still allowed to pull guard in this first half.
Alvarenga looking not once but twice at the row drag. Seems like everybody who runs into Dante Leon during their career develops a row drag.
They keep getting hit with it, and they're like, damn, this thing's really solid. Yeah, that row drag is just that little far arm action that guys are doing to punch in that underhook. After punching away the frame, it's kind of a two-stage quick little pummel. There it is. But you know, as guys get better at it, guys get better at defending it. Always a cycle.
This match may kind of boil down to, can Lucas Kanto get to the legs or can Alvarenga get past the guard? I think they're both kind of where they want to be in this match, as far as Kanto prefers to play off his back, likes to look at the leg locks, and Alvarenga, for most of what we have seen from him, generally prefers to pass the guard.
He generally does, and he generally prefers to work out of that split squat. He's had really good success with that in the past. I would point out, for example, a match at Nogi Brasileiros where he submitted Fabricio Andre before, working from top and passing in a very similar way, was able to drag, get to an arm triangle, get the tap there. Awesome win. But here, Lucas Kanto is showing a really good ability to constantly keep those frames off. Look at the left hand and the work that it's doing to be able to get everything going. So may need a little bit of a change up from the split squat, considering how comfortable Lucas Kanto is there. You see him again starting to build into that left leg, or into that far leg.
Back to a neutral position here. Let's see if we change the strategy. Kanto very clearly showing his hand in attacking the legs, not once there but twice.
Big time. He likes getting to that reverse de la Riva, getting to the legs, and there you see a far side pass from Ruan. I think that was genius work, and that was very reminiscent, actually, of a little bit Marcelo Garcia style, right? Smash left, smash left, smash left, loose pass right.
Switching up the pace, switching up the angle, and trying to get a little bit of a change up here to get past Kanto's savvy guard.
But as long as we're stuck here, I think it's going to be hard. You see Ruan is deciding, instead of going into the legs and trying to even put pressure there, which I feel like Kanto is really good at absorbing, he's trying to kind of jump over the top. If he can't row drag, he's looking to get to like almost a front headlock and get something going there. But now we're seeing a little more pressure. Now we're seeing a little bit more chest to chest and better position for Ruan Alvarenga as he starts to look to really put the smash down.
Great job of Kanto to pummel that left leg through and find his way, not just out of passing danger, but back into another leg entry.
That's the trick, man. If you're going to be a guard player at the highest levels, it is not enough to retain your guard. There are a million guys out there who can retain their guard. Can you retain your guard into offense? Can you pummel your legs back as they put the pass on you in a meaningful way that's going to enter into a leg or enter into some kind of really advantageous position or get you into a sweep? Because if the best you can do is get yourself back to a neutral position, it's going to be a top player's game. Speaking of top player's game, there's another big passing opportunity from Ruan Alvarenga. And Corey, look at the time. I don't think that's by mistake either.
Talking about the kind of dynamic switch up, Alvarenga coming in with pressure for 3.5 minutes and then deciding to kind of loosen everything up and disappear past the guard. Doesn't quite score the pass there, but best opportunity of the match for Ruan Alvarenga, who is now looking to settle in on a pass, double unders, had a momentary look at the back there as well.
Yes, he did, and that started right as points were starting to, traditional points were starting to come in. I know that we're counting points all night long here, but I always notice these ADCC guys, they have just such a habit of kicking it up right as soon as the halfway point of the match starts. Now I feel like it's on Kanto. He's got to open up, and he's got to be bringing it a little bit more to make sure that he has that. That was a really, really good look from Ruan on top. And now I think the ball is back in Kanto's court to be able to answer back and put some danger on top of Alvarenga.
Momentum certainly seems to be working in Alvarenga's favor at this point. The pressure's coming on. The leg locks don't seem to be working just yet for Kanto. Do you think it's time for him to switch up his strategy
100%.
here a little bit?
100%. You got to start to at least give an upper body attack, right? How many of these elite leg lockers, as he looks to the pass again, how many of these elite leg lockers, truly elite leg lockers, have a really sick choi bar or have a really good triangle? You know what I mean? Or have something to the upper body, good guillotine, something they can go to above the waist. Because, man, why are you going to ignore 50% of the human body, right? It just works in the other way. So I'm not seeing that. I'm just seeing a lot of framing and then looking for the legs. So hopefully he can diversify a little bit here. I think against a guy as experienced as Ruan, that might be the ticket. Tough to be specializing in just the leg locks, especially as you get deep into the match. Everything's very slippery. Everything's only going to get a little bit harder to secure in that. Corey, I don't think it would be ridiculous to say if you see a submission in the first minute, often it's a leg lock. If you see a submission in the last minute, rear naked choke.
Generally a really really common theme, especially among matches that feature leg lockers, right? The leg locks work best when they can kind of be sudden and off guard. But if pressure builds, it's going to be the old, I don't want to call them old school, but the arm bars, the rear naked chokes, the guillotines, the traditional attacks.
Another deep knee cut here from Ruan as he looks to collect the upper body before passing with the lower body. He's still got a good lock, but Kanto able to get those frames back in one more time. Man, he's got to open up a little bit more, I feel like, on bottom. I feel like he needs to give a little bit more action, a little bit more work to try to get himself into this match. It might even mean coming up wrestling, coming up trying to get out of your guard and do something there.
Alvarenga takes a big look at the clock before he backs away and gets into this maybe safety territory, right? He feels he's done enough work putting pressure on the guard, and now he can just kind of stall Kanto out. Not stall Kanto out, but slow Kanto down, eliminate all of his opportunities.
Neutralize.
Play out here.
Definitely. And you see the ADCC referees are in attendance. They are the ones who are helping to tender the decision that's coming out tonight. So these are, by ADCC rules, who would win this match is ultimately how things are going. And it is a close one, but you think Ruan, right? Almost past the guard more than one occasion. You saw some good leg entries from Kanto, but never for more than a second or two, and he wasn't able to really get any kind of submission lock going. I know that they say it comes down to initiations, but to me, that would mean Ruan.
Vamos agora para o anúncio oficial. Por decisão, Ruan Alvarenga!
Alvarenga gets his hand raised here. He will move on in this bracket. Ruan Alvarenga did enough in controlling the pace and applying the pressure to take the win over the Argentinian.
Melhores momentos no telão.
Is Ruan Alvarenga. He gets it done with his top game. I think that is the best aspect of his game. This, I think, was the best entry Kanto had all night. It was a deep look at that outside Ashi. Definitely a talented leg locker, but a talented defender as well in this match. He was using that row drag and that split squat action to great effect all night long.
That row drag was maybe the early story of the match, but as the match kind of wore on, it was mostly Alvarenga's pressure and his lateral movements like this one here that got him the closest he got to passing the guard. This movement, I think, kind of made the match for him. That big step over to north-south and then looking to the back, settling back into a passing position. He just looked more dynamic, more aggressive, more like he was initiating the action throughout, I'd say, at least the last 75% of the match.
I would agree, and he didn't have to overly exert himself, go crazy. He was able to manage the match very strategically, so he's still going to have a lot of energy for next round. He could see Cleber or Julio Aranches in a very difficult semifinal. For everybody out there, remember, there's one more match left before we go to FloGrappling.
Os 13, nunca recorreu ao 12. Dá valor ao que conquista, não vai querer viver de pose. Eu faço rap no Rio, compadre. Tu tem coragem, terra de samba, de bambas no meio da malandragem.
Bom, vamos lá. Temos agora a terceira luta das quartas de finais. E esta luta é um oferecimento FloGrappling. Representando a equipe GF Team, Jonatha Frazão.
Jonatha Frazão making his walk to the mat. He is the 2024 No-Gi Brasileiro silver medalist. He earned his right onto this mat via the Conferi, the bracket. He was not the winner.
Qualifier. Yeah.
The qualifier. He was not the winner, but he did enough to earn himself a shot as an athlete pulled out of the event.
Yeah, we had some changes to this bracket late, but we did have the qualifier event, which Julio Aranches won. Jonatha was the guy who lost to Aranches in that bracket in the semifinals. He's shown a ton of promise and a ton of great results over the years. So when some athletes started to drop out, they went to the second place in that bracket. That was Cleber. Then they had to go to the third place in that bracket. That was Jonatha. He was the second alternate for this bracket. So now he's in here. He doesn't get any easy looks early on, but I don't think he wanted them. He's going to have to face world champion Meyram early on. Corey, I know you're an enormous Meyram fan.
Mayhan, despite his lack of no-gi experience, I would say is probably the favorite in this bracket. And he's got a BJJ Stars belt to his name to prove it. He won the 70-kilogram division in the gi. One of the most explosive featherweights on the scene today with his dynamic passing, his judo. I'm really excited to see what his wrestling looks like today. And if he can translate some of his dynamic gi game into a no-gi atmosphere.
Meyram has always been electric on the mats. His throws, his passing, his back takes, his connection with the crowd. The Brazilian audience absolutely loves Meyram. So the idea that he's going to come out here and finally start putting it together in a no-gi, I am really excited to see that and see what that looks like.
Joe, you mentioned Mayhan is one of the favorites here at BJJ Stars. He's got the record to prove it. He's 9-2 on the BJJ Stars stage. I would say he's one of the most active BJJ Stars competitors in the organization.
Absolutely. He's been in multiple Grand Prix. He's shown great results in all of those. I don't know if there's ever been a Grand Prix for BJJ Stars that he's been in where he didn't at least make the finals. So, yeah, you know, early on, he is definitely one of the bears in this division. Oh, big statement fireman's carry from Jonatha. You see Mayram trying to laugh it off, but that was a little bit of a statement made that, hey, man, I'm here to throw too. You want to exchange some judo? I put that gi on before too. We can get to it.
Look for a fiery comeback here from Mayram.
100%.
Looking at that Kawuchi-gari right off the bat and showing that he wants to play.
Mayram is definitely a guy who I think competes with emotion. You know what I mean? I think he's one of those guys who competes with emotion in a way that does not limit him. I think that it really does fire him up, and he likes to make it a little bit of a fight, make it a little gritty and grimy in there. Even though he's so athletic and he's so electric, a lot of those guys usually like to make the fight very pretty. I don't think that's Mayram's way. I believe it was the last BJJ Stars where Mayram came out and faced Baby Shark and had an incredible performance. We all know how good Baby Shark is. Baby Shark's one of the best of this generation, especially no gi. But they faced off in the gi, and it was Mayram's passing. Oh, throw by to the back as he starts to look. Potential suplex coming. Mayram looking to walk him around, looking to get forward back motion so he can start to trip, start to lift, start to throw, start to get something going. Jonatha looking to use that hand on the mat to try to keep his balance, eventually fight the hands, break open the lock, and turn him face.
Mayram with some strong mat IQ there too. Not do too much toward the boundary. Allow the ref to set it to the middle so that he can do this.
Back
Jump
take,
on the back.
choke.
Already has the arm under for the choke.
Nope.
I'll lose it.
He lost it. Potential Suluev stretch right there, by the way. I'll throw that out there. But there is the back take. I think he's going to get points off of this, off that standing back take from the wrestling exchange, and he is looking to finish things early as he traps the hand from the back, and now he's looking to bring that right arm across. This is an uncontested strangle hand. Incredible work from Mayram. We were worried how his no-gi and how his wrestling was going to look. Looks like it's looking pretty okay to me right now.
Seems like it fits into his style. This is perfect for Mayram.
Just finally was able to get that hand out. Was Mayram, who's now well in the driver's seat with 4.5 left to go. There's the rear naked choke, the squeeze, the tap.
He gets the submission. Another standout performance here from Mayram Makine on the BJJ Stars stage. This is really his atmosphere. He thrives on this stage, and we see why.
The Soldiers Jiu-Jitsu star always bring the people to their feet here at BJJ Stars, really making you know, he's just one of the best in the world. I'm always so proud, man.
A little bit of Nicky Rod style there, ripping the rash guard off right away.
What's pops the top in Portuguese?
Vence por finalização. Parabéns aos dois guerreiros que entregaram uma excelente luta.
He's going to have Gabriel Souza next round. That's a crazy match. We just set that quarterfinal matchup, or the semifinal matchup. Gabriel Souza versus Meyram, second round. Going to get the replays here going. Saw some early wrestling exchanges. There was a good fireman's, and the extra little shove off the mat from Jonatha letting him know who's around. It was Meyram laughing, and he would have the last laugh here with this throw by to the back that would eventually turn into the submission win.
Smart job looking for that suplex early just to make sure the back attack was there. He did it again when we hit the center of the mat. Same exchange, right? Throwing the suplex to open the back up, and from here it was just clinical, working into the arm trap and then into that rear naked choke. Over the jaw at first and slipping down to the neck.
Teeth choke. Good little dentist work from Meyram. Transition to Nogi looks super successful so far. We just set up a match between him and an ADCC finalist next round. For all of our people that are watching on FloGrappling, or that are watching on the YouTube, make sure you head over to FloGrappling.com to watch the rest of this. If you want to see Meyram taking on Gabriel Souza, all of our Gi super fights tonight, guys like Diego Sodre, Harrison Gabriel, Meyram versus Gabriel Souza, like we just mentioned, Peter Zuki taking on Nolan Stewart. Bunch of awesome matchups. You can only see them globally on FloGrappling.
Coming up next, Cleber Pereira versus Julio Aranches, and that will round out the four-man in the Grand Prix. Coming up next.
E continuando a noite de lutas de hoje, a quarta luta das quartas de finais, um oferecimento Kings, representando a equipe BJJ College, Cleber Pereira.
Youngster in the division, Cleber Pereira walking out to the mat, representing BJJ College, Melky Galvao's academy. This kid